Nataka siku moja kama mimi kijana sasa utachanja. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're watching this video. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Christine alongside
Brayoti. I'm a lazy guru.
Yeah, my good friend is back to my channel today. Karibu sana.
Santi. Unapaswa Aki sana nimezoea siku hizi nakuja.
Ndio umeona mnaelewa tunaendelea sana.
Leo mimi sina neno. Unakafiri by the way. Hey, naona tu una Pikachu. Watu wameleo joko tu Pokemon Pikachu. Sawa.
Okay, anyway, welcome back to my channel.
Leo tunaongelea vulnerability in relationships.
Friendships, like
zote ni relationship.
Okay. Excuse me.
Coronavirus. Getting real.
But we are here to talk about vulnerability. So, according to wewe ungesema with this current generation, are people vulnerable?
Taliban za huku. Boy. Boko Haram. No one.
Let me how to not be Taliban.
Yeah, this is a DDR mission, yeah? Tuna disarm watu wanaitwa Taliban, tunakuja na we come in peace. Lakini sila kujoa.
But anyway, to those who don't know, vulnerability means to being able to be open to another person, being able to tell somebody about each and everything, and just how do you safeguard? How can you explain vulnerability to yourself?
To me, vulnerability is just that ability to completely trust in the other person.
Yeah.
Not only with your body, with also your thoughts, your secrets and whatnot. That's all what vulnerability is.
And according to you, do you find vulnerability has anything to do with emotions?
To some point,
yes. Availability and unavailability.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Kabisa, you cannot be vulnerable if you're not dealing with emotions, because the deepest and darkest things that we hide for ourselves and that make us feel bad or unsafe or discouraged or discontent with ourselves, that's an emotion in itself. So vulnerability is the ability, in my own words, to share that insecurity with another person, to be free. It's another half of you that you're telling. It's not like you're telling a different person. So basically that.
So you have, what I'm getting from you is the fact that I must be emotionally available for me to be vulnerable.
Kabisa.
Direct, straightforward.
Yeah.
So you must act on your emotional availability for you to be able to get vulnerable to the other person.
Yeah.
And Brian, make us understand what happens if somebody is not vulnerable. Let's say in a set up your relationship, the lady and the man. If one person is vulnerable, the other person is not vulnerable, what happens?
Okay. When it comes to relationships, the way I've seen them in my life and how I've come to understand them in my own way is that there's no time that there is a time where both of you are vulnerable at the same time. But I feel at some point that when someone is vulnerable and the other one is not vulnerable, maybe they're trying to be hard to be that rock for you. Usifeel ni kama nyote wawili tu ni madem hapo and you're telling each other your problems. No one is there to solve it. So you might find guys who, it's not like they're not vulnerable, it's that when you come with your vulnerabilities, they tend to be stoic. They don't react. They're not vulnerable because they feel if they're vulnerable at that time, hakuna mwenye atasaidia mtu mwingine. So they tend to be more objective about the situation when it comes to vulnerability. But then it has to take time. Kuna siku tu I'm having the worst day. Just go and tell your chile, hey, leo nimefutwa kazi na sijui aje tutapea watoto wewe. Unaona, hiyo ni yeye kuwa vulnerable to you. But someone who is not vulnerable atafutwa kazi trust you me, atavalia suti kila day,
anatoka, unadhani ameenda job, msee ana kazi,
anaenda kutafuta saa kazi zingine, najua hataki kuweka pia, anaificha.
So my question would be, tunaongea in terms of our relationship, what would be the problem if we are both not available? Like vulnerability to haiko.
Then I personally feel like hapo nyinyi ni Taliban. It's like taking a cat and a dog together. Hakuna venye zitakaa pamoja. Ama two bulls mko hapo. Swahili inasema ng'ombe mbili hazikai zizi moja. Fahari mbili. Fahari ama fahali moja, hizo mbili hazikai zizi moja. So achana na mimi. So me na believe that hakuna venye mtaka not vulnerable nyote wawili unless ni vitu kama arrange. That's the word, at arrangement. Umesikia hiyo arrangement. Hizi mambo zingine mweka kando. Make an arrangement.
There's a relationship and an
arrangement. Thank you. Hiyo hapa. So kama uko in an arrangement, hapo you're talking business. Hakuna vitu zingine.
There's no vulnerability at all.
Kwa sababu you don't want to get hurt. That's why you get into an arrangement. Hapo mnapotana, mnafanya transactions zenu kwa arrangement yenu, mkishianga.
Kila mtu back to their life.
This is hakuna time hapo tu kidogo katikati ni banter. Ya kidogo ya ku set the mood for the arrangement. Yes.
Sawa, pia sasa niulize kitu na hiyo vulnerability tuendelee.
So do you feel like someone can be too vulnerable?
Yeah, it is true. Very true. In life, kitu nimekuja ku understand. Okay, ni mindset ya msee. Unaona vile unasema mambo ya too vulnerable. There are some people who you feel, tuseme for example, meaning to, you know quite well I don't know how to open up so well. So, we'll kujeni msee unajua ku open up quite well. So no, you constantly telling me about your day, nini. So me kuna ka pressure nta feel kidogo. Like I have to be like Brian, I'ma at least try. Yeah. But every time I try be vulnerable, I feel like Brian is being too vulnerable. When I get in that sort of way, because I feel like I am trying, but you're trying too much. I'm trying, but you're trying too much. But because at the end of the day, I feel like kama hujazoea, it will be like a thing you have to like fanya each and every day. And that's why mse kama mimi nikianza kuwa open na mse, today I'll tell them a very small tiny detail about my day, and I'll feel like I've done a big thing, but to some extent
kitu kidogo.
So me I'm like auski nimejaribu nimekuwa vulnerable na wewe utafanya
na wewe tu mwenyewe hapo ngev kama kangeve
to over vulnerable. Now how would I explain that?
Yeah, give an example because I don't know.
It makes more sense. In short, what I'm trying to say is that, say for example, let me just go back to my previous example myself. I'm not vulnerable. Then I get with somebody who is vulnerable. So sometimes akikuja ku confide in me, it is okay. But kuna time na feel, ay bana relax. Relax. Unajua the first day ni kwa na feel like kuna over vulnerability, but ukiendelea I'll come to understand the way I'm being open with you is the see over vulnerability. It's just normal vulnerability. Nakuja kulearn like it's a normal thing, pole. But the first days ninasikianga ni kama I am trying. You're being too much.
Okay.
Unaget? Sasa kitu kama hiyo, that is what usually happens.
Interesting. Yes, definitely in that way because sababu you are two different levels of vulnerability. We are called level 500. Yeah, naona like the big things to you hizo ndio vitu anaongeaga tu anytime.
I know.
Okay. So like
so naona ni kama a normal thing anakuta tukuniopenia mimi na feel ni kama kubwa like unaimake na kasi
kitu ndogo. Okay. You like hapo kwa comments, do you think there's such a thing as oversharing or being too vulnerable to your other human being?
I don't really think so. Baadaye ndio unakujanga kuona. But mwanzo utafeel ni kama anakuwa too much. Hiyo nice kudanganya.
So what is a safe level of vulnerability to start? Level 1. Tuanzie level 1. So what would be level 1 for you in terms of vulnerability? Someone sharing what?
I don't know.
Kukuomba pesa?
Wewe.
msituombe hatuna labda hata mtu ameweka namba hapo.
I think
yeah.
Vulnerability stage number 1 would be telling me at least about your day.
Stage 1.
Vulnerability stage number 1.
I don't think.
Insecurities, what would you say?
Insecurities. Insecurities like a level 3 hapo.
That is a level 3 slow. Level 1 inaweza kuwa nini?
Me to be. Okay, labda yako like kuambia msee how was your day to you is your level 1.
May feel my level 1 vulnerability will be telling you a shitty thing that has happened to me like
that's the
ama kitu kama kupiss off.
That okay. Yeah, that's level 1.
Yeah, that's level
mtu
1.
Like they've seen you and be like you're cool enough to like
I
know
can
about
share
it.
about my bad day.
Yeah, but yeah,
that
something.
is vulnerability level 1 for me, I think.
Okay.
And for you?
I'd go with the same, but labda niongeze kidogo. I think like vulnerability level 1 would be like nito when they tell you ananyesha like and not like ile not like in the ile yenye wao mnatumaga fare alafu mtu anakuambia no like ile yenye hatukuna expect mnapiga tu hapa kwa like leo aki it's one of those days na moon si unipeleke hapa aki niende I don't feel like anyone can share with you the first time for me niliambia hivyo nikaambia hapana I was kwanza shooked but then I've learned to stay okay that was level 1 for me. So if you tell me like something deep but not too deep iko hapo tu katikati something that you would not tell anyone ama kitu kama msee kuja kwambie nimenyamba saizi you know like too embarrassing but everyone does but no one says. That's level 1 for me. Imagine them anakuja nakwambia guys usiende pale nimeshuta kunanuka sana.
Tell me according to me for you level 1 is something like deep but
yeah.
Mimi I think nikikwambia my life event of that day jua kuna kadume gonga because one thing I don't share me everybody asks me how you doing fine I'm good na hiyo story imesha hiyo tunarudi back to yourself so the fact that I feel I am able to share with you something level 1
level 2
level 2 yeah vulnerability. Do you remember I'm not good at being
huyu sasa guy tusaidieni aki mtu uko comments tutafanya chapter 2 ambieni huyu mtu vitu za kuwa vulnerable anajua hizo words separately lakini si pamoja.
I don't know how to be vulnerable and I think it's something that happens a lot with ladies who are outspoken more. Okay, I'm not saying some ladies are dumb. Msini troll please. What I'm trying to say is kuna watu wanakuanga okay with just about anything and there are those ladies who see ahead. There are those ladies who when they feel attacked they attack back. You know there are two type of ladies. Kuna mtu attack ashuke aseme mimi ndio makosa. Let me tell this guy sorry. Let me do what this and this wants. Like alipata mwanaume akajisahau. But now there is this other lady who will be back and forth. Unamgonga na yeye anakugonga na yeye. Unamgonga na yeye anakugonga na yeye. You see like it's your alpha female and sometimes being alpha female you forget how to be vulnerable. That I won't lie. Because you're constantly used to taking care of yourself, your own bills, your own lifestyle, your own bills, kila kitu from A to Z. So when it comes to somebody comes into your life who wants now to take care of you, it's a whole different thing.
Okay, I think
it's a whole different thing.
For me then on that note I'd say vulnerability level 2 would be someone telling you about something that involves the revenue revenue stream at any point. I'm talking about how much they earn or maybe they have a loan somewhere or maybe they want to ask you for money. I feel like not a lot of people have the audacity, let me say audacity to ask for money. They only ask you if you are at a certain level. I'd say a level 2 someone will ask you for money, but I've met people mtu anaelewa exactly, like even if you had like a chile or a boyfriend at that time, and this is the point they'd be telling you, like, you see all this money I'm spoiling you with, it comes from here. I told you I work at chips and fries and chips. I work here.
Ndio inakaa hiyo ni uko level 5. Sasa tukianza kuingia kwa mambo ya level 2.
No, see, mimi in terms of like revenue source, for me level 2. Because hapo sasa, because if you don't for me, if it's not at level 2, that's when like mtu unaona ameanza kuchukua loan ndio apeleke dem out kwa sababu alimdanganya fulani.
Living standards
exactly. Like that's like level, like showing like not true self, like true financial self to this person. Because utaumia nani? Utaumia. So for me at level 2, you just show them, mimi kama uliona Instagram nikikula pizza hapa nakula mbosho.
So level 2 yako ni ku disclose like revenue wise nini. Level zako ni ngapi? Unajua ni una to educate hapa.
Mimi zingefika level 3. Level 3 now, this is when you start telling them things like what? You're comfortable enough to tell them, by the way, my bro is coming over. Do you want to tag along to share dinner? You start inviting them kidogo to your family members who are cool and who are like makuzo huko. Unaanza kumuonyesha kwa squad mabeshte, obvious amekuwa around your friends, but now you take her to like closer to family, if like you're comfortable, au unajua hata choma atafanya, so ndio like you start disclosing like ule ndio bro yangu na ule ndio dem yake, ule ndio yangu.
That is the next question I wanted to ask you. Nilikuwa nataka kukuuliza hiyo family una feel ni level gani ya vulnerability?
For me it's a 3. Like if you've passed level 2, me level 3 is fine, because kuna wase tu unakuja unawaambiaga I make 200 a day.
Don't you feel like family needs to come before revenue?
No, not at all. Kwa sababu if it's a fling or something, hautaki waje wewe usichome nani.
Kuna mtu najua, relax. Kuna mtu najua alikuwa this type of dudes wanapenda every time they are dating they take the nini back home. Manze baada alifika siku moja kama mimi kijana sasa utacha.
Sinaona sasa.
Tunadhani is the one.
Hadi mnachoka tu.
Kisha tunamuuliza anakusema demu mwingine siku. Bro, what is afadhali we do money and then we will do
uko family uko mwisho, kwa sababu now if you introduce them to your farm and some of your farm members have that cash, unaona sasa pia atakuruka mbaya.
Nina feel all through as you're doing these stages you should kind of be cautious. Kwa dem anaweza kuwa ana feel unakumbuka kile tulisema mambo, is there anything like being vulnerable?
Yeah.
So ana feel ushamkimbisha kwa wazazi, ni mapema, maybe yako level
1 man,
so inapaswa kusink.
Exactly. If you're not at that kila time mtakuwa mna crash, lakini mkiendanisha inakuwa tu ina sync.
Okay.
Level 3.
Level
4. I'd say now level 4 you're like your level of vulnerability has gone to a deeper level, in the sense that you now tell them things like you're depressed, or when you're feeling your lows,
you are able to share your lows.
Like low, like go low chini kabisa, kwa sababu I feel uko kwingine utakuongelesha maboys ama unaongelesha like counselor or someone else, so that you're like hiyo saa huko bado tu mtakuwa tu la bado unaongeaga labda vitu zenye huwa mnagombania, ni nani ataosha vyombo, vitu kama hizo. But now here is like when you're like, I'd feel like they would share maybe their orphans and maybe the family.
Ama even be upright anakuambia baby this Monday itakuwa hapo sina do.
legit there's nothing I can do about
yeah,
it.
because you know there are men who don't do that.
Yeah.
There are men wanaweza issue wameomba beshte yake just akufurahisha, ana feel ni kama ukimwambia this time hana do. Hauna do, una feel ni kama atakuacha.
Yeah.
So tuseme sasa hiyo ni ile deep
Ability
vulnerability. Naweza
kabisa.
kuambia like my shit na najua bado utakuwa.
This is where they tell you like our family tuko cast na iko nilienda kwa pastor na ika happen ama they tell you they can't like labda something crazy. Okay, let me look for something like they can't give babies, they have low sperm count or something like kitu yenye he would not be, he or she would
like
not
a normal person.
Hapo sasa amekwambia like amefungua tu koro kabisa.
Na
ya mwisho kabisa tu ni true love, man. Like it's a combination of all of them every time. Unaona huku kwingine hata kama mko level 4 kutamdanganya kuhusu kitu ya level 1 na level 4. Like you're not always open at that point, lakini sasa kuna tu vitu tenye wewe unamdanganyanga huku kwingine. I believe like level 5 say like hata ukinyamba saa hizi unampigia simu na babe nimenyamba lakini nimenyamba kwa sababu ya sikuwa nimekula. Hiyo ni level 2. Alafu unaingia level 3 which is kwa sababu nilikuwa nimeomba brodo nikakosa, and then ukaingia 4 sana niko depressed, nimeenda kwa doke akaniambia niko na ulcers na nisipotafuta dishi ama nisipo change my eating habits I might pass. Unaona sasa go through all those 4 levels ndio ufike level. So level 5 it should be like all of them every time. Hakuna time yenye umedanganya ama like you're all round every time. You don't feel the need or the urge to lie to this person for any reason at all. Even when you want to protect them or what, unakuwa always clean with them. If you have your own passage ama mko na code zenu mnasemanga ikiwa hapa hii inamaanisha sawa, I'm facing something but I'm trying to find a way for myself kidogo. Like it's a full cycle of all 1 2 3 4 I would say for me.
Yeah, and I think that now makes part 1.